Hello everyone, good day. I'm Rina Kabudbod. I am BSIT Cosmetology Technology, 3rd year, Section 35 from Bohol Island State University, main campus, Tagbilaran City, CITAS Department. So, for this video, I will have my report, and these have 3 topics. The first is the chemistry of hair coloring, and the second, which is chemistry of hair color, and the last is the cosmetic chemistry. So, we have a first topic, which is the chemistry of hair coloring. So, if you talk about hair coloring, mo na siya ang color sa atong hair nga popular karon even sa mga bata pa na magpa hair color. So, the chemistry of hair color is not just the black and white. There are also shades of gray, red, blonde, and brown. Chemical reactions determine hair color, be it natural or artificial. While there are many different shades of hair color, they only come from 2 kinds of melanin. So, artificial while coloring used dyeing hair is a different story and consists of a different kind of chemistry. So, kung mag-color ta sa atong hair, lahi na siya og kuan, which is gitawag na siya og artificial because not natural. Kaya dili siya natural, so that's why we call that artificial. Because we can change every month if we want, but in the natural hair, so they have 2 melanin, which is melanin is a term used to describe pigments. So you know pigments is? Pigment are our natural hair color, which is kanang sukad pag anak nato kung unsay color nato sa atong hair, mo na siya. Not just in the hair follicles, but any pigments found in organism. Melanin and the sun have a role in why your hair might change color or what makes your skin become tan. When a person is albino, it means that they lack of melanin. Melanin absorbs UV light and can cause your hair or skin color to change. So, have you experienced that if we have to go outside, mag-change ang color sa atong hair, like sa sud sa atong bay, kuan siya, like dark brown or black, something like that. Pero pag mugawas ta sa gawas, if makuha na to atong hair sa sun, mo color siya og light brown, something mo light siya. So same sa atong skin, like if nata sa sulod, tanaw nato more something dark, pero pag moadto ta sa gawas, mo light siya, di ba? So the chemistry of a hair is partially broken down into 2 forms of melanin. So ang chemistry, nagbuwag na siya into 2 forms. So ang una is phenylalanine. So ang phenylalanine responsible for red hair and pinkish pigments. So ang phenylalanine, mao ni siya ang kanang mo change sa color sa imuhang hair, like mag-red katong mag-red ka or mag-pinkish something ma-change na ang kwanse mo, like mga healthy hair like that. Then the other one is the eomelanin, which creates dark pigments like brown or black. So di ba pag mag-color ta og hair, dili siya mo-color og red as in red if dili nato siya what do you call it that? If i-bleach, di ba? If like magpa-color ta og ash gray. So dili na siya nimo makuha in one color only if we did not what do you call it that? If we don't use a bleach, diba? If try ko na og color og ash gray, then your natural hair was so dark siya nga as in black na black. Diba dili siya mo color dayon, so you need to have a bleach first para if color pag mag-color na ka, ang color jud mo resulta og unsa imuhang gusto. So, to understand how proportion of this works, we can look to natural hair colors. Dark, nearly but not quite black hair and brown can also be associated with eomelanin. So, in brown hair, very small amounts of phenylalanine might be present. Red shades clearly have mostly phenylalanine. Lastly, similar to the white hair found in albinism, gray hair also suffers from a lack of melanin. Hair dyes thus affect the chemistry of the hair color. But how do you change your hair color when you want? Does the process have an effect of melanin? So, kana bitang what you call it, uban. So, if magkahimo kag uban sa imong ulo na kay, actually sa ilahang ingon-ingon ani, like if matiguwang na ka or maligo ka buguton imong hair, magkaroon ka ng uban. So ang kuan jud ana niya is kulang ra na siya og melanin. So that's why mutubo na siya. So you need to have a healthy melanin para wala kay uban. So how do hair dyes work? So, hair coloring came into practice in 1909, and today it's very common to use people testing out different hair colors and shades. As you can see in outside or where we're going, daghan na jud kaayo ang mag-hair color, especially sa mga teenagers now. Kinahanglan jud nga mag-change like color mo jud nilang ganahan. So, I know, naka-experience na tanan. So, before the modern formula of hair coloring was invented in 1909, natural ingredients were used to color hair. There's no evidence that the use of such plants is somehow safer than the chemicals found in the hair coloring. Natural coloring, however unsafe or not, only truly makes it through a few washes. Temporary hair color lasts longer than natural color, but runs on the same idea, hair coloring the hair or puts a temporary hair color on the outside of the hair shaft. So, take a look like this. So, kani siya ang forma sa atong hair. So mo ni ang shaft sa atong hair kanang barog na color brown. Mo na ang natural hair color natural nga if like pag anak pa nato sa color sa atong hair mo na siya. So di ba if mag-try ta og hair color, Diba ani raman sa shaft ani ra sa taas. So once nga mataas na atong hair, mugawas gihapon ang ato ang natural color. So mao na ang uban nga mga tao if mataas na ilang hair, magpa-color dayon sila kay mobalik na ilang natural hair color, di ba? Same rin na siya sa rebonding. If mataas na tong hair, kung unsa gid imong natural hair like kulot, kulot jud ka, mawari na siya ang imong rebond or straight. Kung mataas na imong hair kay ang ilang ko na is ang hair shaft nato which is nara sa gawas. So ang gikan sa sud sa ato ang ulo, sa ato ang kuan, paggawas na niya. So natural jud na siya ang gawas. So mobalik jud kung sa imong porma sa imong hair since bata pa ka. So let's move on to another topic. So the next is the chemistry of a hair color. So through your hair bulb descends your hair root. If you're familiar with hair coloring, you probably have an idea about hair roots, since they frequently need to be touched up when they uprooted. In between the hair bulb and its root is the hair follicle wall and the sebum glands. The sebum gland secretes sebum. You might have too much secretion if you find your hair to be oily. Its purpose is for protections and acts as a lubricant. You can break down your hair anatomy into 4 parts: your veins and the area before a bulbs of the subcutaneous layer. Your bulb and everything up to your roots are the dermis. The epidermis consists of the hair before it comes out of the skin. And lastly, there is hair shaft, the visible hair on your head. With temporary color, the outside of these follicles hair dyes. There are more permanent variants of hair color, and the chemical reaction involved are much different. Something regularly heard about the chemistry of hair color, as my sister's attended cosmetology school, is that bleaching hair prior to apply dye would lead to bitter results. Not where are healthy or of her hair are concerned, but it did not look good. But it did look good pala. So, do you know what's hair shaft or and also the root of our hair? So, as you can touch your hair, so kaning ato ang koloran sa atong hair, mao ni siya ang hair shaft. So, ang root ani kini dapat sa atong bagul-bagul. Mo na ang root. So, di ba if mag-color ta, dili jud nato as in pa kung ano jud sa root, aside, except from kuan kanang like the uban or gray hair. Diha if naka gray hair, magsugod jud na siya sa root as in pinaka root sa tanang root. Pero if mag-color ta sa atong hair like a fashion or something, mag-color ta ana is the under sa shaft sa atong hair, dili ra kaabot sa atong root para dili na atong hair. So ang sunod ana is the sebum glands sa ato ang sud sa bagul na siya. So I have no picture here, but yeah, there's a meaning also. What is that? So natural hair colorants have been coloring their hair for thousands of years using plants and minerals. Some of these natural agents contain pigments, while others contain natural bleaching agents or cause reaction that change the hair color. Natural pigments generally work by coating the hair shaft with color. Some natural colorants, through several shampoo, but they aren't necessarily safer or more gentle than modern formulation. It's difficult to get consistent results using the natural colorants, and some people are allergic to the ingredients. So, muna siya ang importante. If mag-color ta sa ato ang hair or sa imuhang client, we should check first if they have an allergy. So, naman tayo mga products like the organic. So, if you talk about organic, di na siya maka-allergy, like, di na siya allergy reactions, except of like, kanang mga product nga, mga bertohon, like that. Kanang, before ta mag-color jud sa atong hair, we should we should check first, like, kanang i-check sa ato ang, like, ang color bitaw, kanang, mo na patch test something ngay kon sa mo if na bakay kanang allergy reaction. And then if mag-color pa ta sa hair, if kuan dili jud siya as in ibutang sa root kay mo jud pud na siya makandaot. Kay if mag-color jud ta na jud na siya sa shaft sa atong hair. So temporary hair color or semi-permanent hair colors may deposit acidic dyes onto the outside of the hair shaft or may consist of small pigment molecules that they slip inside to the hair shaft using a small amount of peroxide or none at all in some cases. A collection of several colorant molecules enters to the hair form of larger complex inside the hair shaft. Shampooing will eventually dislodge temporary hair color. These products don't contain ammonia, meaning the hair shaft is not open up during process of the hair's natural colors is retained once the product wash out. So ang temporary hair color, mo ni siya ang hair color nga kanang matangtang or siya if imuhang iligo. Or kanang na siya taga like 1 week nga na or siya kay if permin mo siya iligo matangtang na siya kay it's just a temporary like a relationship joke. So hair lightening, so bleach is used to lighten people's hair. So familiar naman siguro ito sa hair lightening, no? Kay if mag-color ta og hair then naay uban nga magpa hair lights kana bitong mas mo color pa sa imuhang hair sa imuhang ipa-color sa tanay imong hair niya nay gamay nga mga hair pod nga imuhang kuluran which is kanang moro na siya ang mo lights. Ang gamiton ana niya is ang bleach kay di man jud siya mo lights sa imong hair kun dili ka maggamit og bleach. So, the bleach reacts with the melanin in the hair, removing the color through a irreversible chemical reaction. So, ang bleach is isog din siya. So, mauna ang maka-change sa imong hair color or sa imong natural color. The bleach oxidizes the melanin molecule. The melanin is still present, but the oxidized molecule is colorless. However, bleach hair tends to have a pale yellow tint. The yellow color, the natural color of keratin, the structure protein in hair. Also, bleach reacts more readily with the dark eomelanin pigment than with the pheomelanin, so some gold or red residual color may remain after lightening. Hydrogen peroxide is one of the most common lightening agents. The peroxide is used in an alkyne solution which opens the hair shaft to allow the peroxide to react with the melanin. So, if mag-hair lightening daw tayo, like ang ato ang hair shaft, mo-open na siya para makasuot ang color, para mas mo-color siya. So, as you can see, like if we have hair lightening, makabantay mo, our hair will look like dry. So, magamit pa ta og like hair treatment para mura siya og look healthy. Diba? If hair lightening ta, if magamit dito bleach, our hair is like so dry. Kanang like mura siya patay. Ingana siya og perma. Pero if di ba mag hair treatment ta, mura siya tan healthy gapon siya nga nice iyang pagka-color nga na. So, mo na siya. So, if magpa-bleach ta or something, we should have a hair treatment para dili siya mag-dry or something brittle like that. So, the next is the permanent hair color. So, the outer layer of the hair shaft, its cuticle, must be opened before permanent color can be deposited into the hair. Once the cuticle is open, the dye reacts with the inner portion of the hair, the cortex, to deposit or remove the color. Most permanent hair coloring products are used to two-step process, usually occurring simultaneously, which first removes the original color of the hair and then deposit of new color. It's essentially the same process as a lightening, except the colorant is blended to the hair shaft. Ammonia is the alkyne chemical that opens the cuticle and allows the hair to penetrate the cortex of the hair. It also acts as a catalyst when the permanent hair color comes together with the peroxide. Peroxide is the use of developer oxidizing agent. The developer removes pre-existing color. Peroxide breaks chemical bonds in the hair, releasing sulfur, which amount for the characteristics odor of hair coloring products. As the melanin is decolorized, a new permanent color is bonded to the hair cortex. Various types of alcohols and conditions may also be present in hair coloring products. The conditioner is close to the cuticle after coloring and the cell of protect and hair color. So, ang kaning permanent hair color, mao ni siya ang aabot siya ng ilang months. So, if mag-permanent hair color siya, matangtang ni siya nga color, if ato ang hair mutubo siya. Like, if mutubo na atong hair, mubalik ato ang natural color, so mawala jud ang color, like the artificial colors atong hair. So, muna siya. Unya, dapat jud siya nga magamit sa og conditioner, like the, what do you call it, treatment. If mag-hair color jud ta, magamit jud treatment para mao na siya ang magpa-close sa atong hair. Like ang atong hair kuno, if mag-color ta, na something mo open sa atong hair shaft, like mo open siya para mo color mo oxidize ang color sa atong hair shaft para mas mo color siya. So ingana siya nga naka high tech atong hair. So let's move on. Charis. Let's move on to another topic, which is the cosmetic chemistry. So, the appearance of skincare formulation dates to around 3000 BCE in ancient Egypt. Most concoctions were prepared from natural materials. Cleopatra is said to have bathed in donkey's milk to keep her skin smooth and supple. One naturally occurring material is used by an ancient was red ore or iron oxide. Lumps of red ore were formed when iron oxidized are rusted. The red iron oxidized was found in burial tombs in ceremonial lip tents and rouge preparation. It was also used to draw the ancient cave pictures of animals as seen in Altamira. And it is still used in many makeup formulations today. Eye paints have also found in Asian gravy sites. These paints consisted primarily of a copper-based green or called melachite that was mined from nearby quarries. Animal fat was combined with the fragrant substances such as frankincense and myrrh to produce early skin ointments. More sophisticated cream and lotions were fine-tuned through trial and error and passed down over many generations. So, cosmetics is the technique of dress and ornament. It is extended to apply to the human body for cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance without affecting the body's structures or function. There are generally mixtures of chemical compounds, some being derived from natural sources and many being synthetics. Makeup is any substances or products used to enhance the appearance. Common cosmetics that we always use, like the lipsticks, mascara, eyeshadow, foundation, rouge, skin cleanser and skin lotion, shampoo, hairstyling product, perfume, and so on, etc. So, emulsion. So, the majority of creams and lotion are emulsion. An emulsion can be defined simply as two immiscible fluids in which one liquid is dispersed as fine droplets in the other. Homogenized milk is an example of typical oil in water with emulsion. Milk fat oil is dispersed in water as fine droplets by the homogenization process. The reason the fat does not float to the top immediately is due to presence of emulsifiers. In this case, a milk protein called pseudium caseinate as well as several phospholipids. In the case of water in oil emulsions, water is dispersed as droplets and suspended in the oil paste. The non-dispersed liquid or external suspending phase is also called continuous phase. Mayonnaise, vinegar, water dispersed in fine droplets in a continuous phase of soybean oil is an example of a water in oil emulsion. Lecithin from eggs is stabilized and mayonnaise emulsion. So, as you can see in the graph, emulsion phosphatidylcholine, or we can call PC. The majority of creams and lotion or emulsion, and emulsion can be defined simply of two immiscible fluids in which our liquid is dispersed as a fine droplets in the water. So, kaning figure 1 or kaning graph, mo ni siya ang forma, mo ni siya ang forma sa kanang mga chemicals nga unsaon, like sa pag-process sa chemicals or unsa ang tawag ana nga chemicals. So, second, surfactants. Most emulsors can be considered surfactants or surface active agents. These materials are able to reduce the surface tensions of water. What makes an emulsor surface active is related to its HLB or hydropyl lipopyl balance. HLB is determined by the size of the dipropylic water-loving or polar portion of a molecule is compared to the size of the lipophilic oil-loving or non-polar portion. The HBl system was created to the rank of the relative popularity of materials. The most polar water-soluble materials are at the top of the 20-point scale, with more non-polar oil-soluble materials closer than zero. The HBl of the sodium caseinate is assigned as a value of around 14 because it's too high solubility in water. Lecithin, being pore soluble in water, has an HLB value of about 6. Both have polar groups. The polar group in a milk protein is sodium. Lecithin surface active component is a molecule called phosphatidylicolide or PC, like the figure 1. So the polar of water-soluble part is a PC or phosphate functional group. The emulsiferous polar groups orient toward the polar water phase. The lipophilic non-polar groups oriented toward the oil phase to form micelles. This is because structure provides stability to emulsion through hydrogen bonding with a weak electric force. So as you can see in the graph, figure 2 is surfactant. So mo ni siya ang emulsion and emulsion. So magbond ko no ang polar and non-polar, so they can create a hydrogen or weak electric forces. So skincare emulsors can be divided into two groups based on ionic charge. So as you can see in the third figure, they have structures of emulsifiers. So associate called neonic emulsors can be further classified by the type of charge. Anionics are negatively charged when solvated, as in sodium stearate or soap. When fatty acids are reacted, well, alkali, they form soap. So, mo ni ang kuan kanang like formulas para makagama ka og soap. Yeah, the anionic and amphoteric and OH. So mo ni siya ang graph sa structures of emulsors. So the next one is the direct esterification of glycerine. Esteric acid is called of C18 fatty acids. The fatty acids present in fats and oils are classified according to their carbon chains length. Because esteric acid is a major component of many of the fats and oil used in beauty treatment, stearate-based emulsors are particularly useful. Fatty acids are key components of many cosmetics emulsors due to their miscibility in a variety of natural and synthetic oil. So kani siya mo ni siya ang formula sa ubang mga products nga mo create og oil. So, esters polyethylene glycol or ethylene glycol are called PEG esters. A PEG ester's solubility is determined by the number of PEG molecules reacted per molecule of acid. PEG olate, from instance, he has 6 molecules of PEG reacted with the 1 molecule or oleic acid. As the number of polar PEG molecules per acid molecule increase, the water solubility HLB is more than soluble than PEG olate. The cosmetic chemistry will often use blends of glyceryl esters and a PEG ester with high and low HLB values to determine the required popularity of emulsify various of fats and oil. The many types of emulsors are too numerous to list here. However, Macotreon emulsors and detergents is an excellent source of more complete existing. So, mauni siya ang forma, mauni siya ang graph, or mauni ang formula para maka-form or maka-make ka product like the detergents. Next is emollients. The majority of emollients used in personal care and beauty items and fats and oils are called lipids. Animal fat is the tallow is composed primarily or esteric and palmitic acid with carbon chains lengths of 18 and 16 respectively. Many of the major cosmetics companies are moving away from animal-based materials, look tallow of renewable, vegetable-based materials. Coconut oil and palm kernel oil are often used. Some of the key characters required the good emollients are good spreading properties, low toxicity, skin irritation, and good oxidative stability. Oleic acid are major content of olive oil poor oxidative stability due to the presence of its double bond. Fats and oils are considered saturated if they do not have the double bonds. Unsaturated oils like olive oil have double bonds that can react with oxygen, especially when heated. The oxidation process can produce off colors and odors in lipids causing to them with the resid of unusable. So the next is the dimethicone and cyclomethicane. The majority of emollients used in personal care and beauty items are fats and oils, also called lipids. Animal fat follow the composed primary uric and palm acid carbonates lengths of 18 and 16 respectively. Many of the major cosmetics companies are moving away to animal-based materials like the fallow and renewable vegetables-based materials. So, as you can see, mo na ang mga company nga sa pagkakaroon, ang maghimo jud og mga products or mga products is more on the organic because it cannot irritate the skin or dili siya maka-cause of allergy. That's why we should use an organic product choice. So the next is cellulose and carbapol. By incorporating enough to wax into a thin lotion, a thick cream can be formed many thickeners or polymers. Cellulose, a fine powder polymer of the repeating diglucose units, swells in the hot water creating a gel network. Carbapol of polycrylic acid swells when neutralized. So mo siya ang formula of your product if you want to have a lotions or cream. You want that's the process. So the last structure of benzoyl peroxide. Materials that work psychologically within the skin or aid in protecting the skin from insults are also called active ingredients. The term cosmeceuticals, coined by former dermatologist Dr. Albert Kligman, refers to a drug product that is in between cosmetics and drug. Although cosmetics by legal definition can only serve to beauty and protect the surface of the skin, many cosmetics products can be shown and penetrate the dermal layers of the skin, exalt of psychological change. So mo ni siya, like if kanang ang mga products, yung mga products nga mo ni siya ang mo protect sa atong skin so we can't get irritation of our skin trees. Like the sunscreens, mo ni siya ang example sa aning structure of benzoyl peroxide. So mo ni siya ang sunscreens like mo protect sa imong skin from ultraviolet radiations. Mo ni siya, mo bitaw na kasagaran nga mo use ta og kanang sunscreen if maligo tag dagat para dili makuha ng ato ang skin madawat dili ta magka sunburn. So mo ni siya ang gamiton. Also sa kaning sa atong hair mo na ang kuan kana mo na ang treatment to protect our hair shaft to dryness. So the cosmetics products jud is composed in multiple ingredients or different physicochemical properties. In the process of formulation, all ingredients lose their intrinsic identity. So mo jud na siya nga ang cosmetic jud is or ang mga products chemistry nga ilahang gipanggamit is lahi-lahi jud kay nay uban nga mga products nga kanang sa lain-lain nilang gipanguha like sa uban like example sa uban like the organic products then naapoy uban nga dili organic. So mo jud na siya ang cosmetics jud is lahi-lahi jud na siya og mga ingredients wala jud mga product nga same og ingredients nga same results, di ba? So pareha karon nga kanang naay mga kuan kanang sa kanang panggamiton karon, what do you call with that, like the skin perfection, the brilliant, lahi-lahi na siya og kanang ingredients. Then same ra sila makaputi pero not all nga dili makakuan na uban nga mag-irritate ang skin, especially if allergy sila, then may use sila ana without knowing the ingredients that they used or without kanang wala nila gitest ang ilang skin if ma-irritate ba sila ana or na ba sila allergy ana mo nang uban ibig mo gwapa mo noon. So maybe that's the ending of our discussion for today's video. So mao na siguro na siya basta cosmetic formulation if magama kag product dili jud nga cosmetic formulation na jud na siya chemistry para magama nimo ang ingredients sa imong products kay i-mix na nimo siya so they have a result that a perfect result. So that's all. Thank you for listening. God bless.